up, everyone? It's me, Stef The Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to a very extra special stream because, yes, Megsy's not going to like this one indeed, is she? She's going to tremble as the horsemen of the Megpocalypse. Oh yes, we have gathered, we are all in one place here on this channel, welcoming none other than Sue Smith, Nancy from the Sidley Twins, we also have Michelle from Royal Daily Tea, and we also have Resting Dollface as well. Hey up guys, how y'all doing?
Hey Steph.
Hey, doing great, doing great.
Doing great. Steph's over at my mom's. So if anybody's wondering, she's not fired from the show yet.
Uh-oh. What would constitute as a fireable offense, I wonder?
Oh, she's already crossed that line many times. If she were an actual employee and not my twin sister. No, it's funny because we get a lot of comments thinking that we really truly don't like each other. And it's like, no, guys, everything you see on camera, it's not like we then continue the, like, if we get into a twin fight and then we're fine the rest of the show, it's not like we then go fight again. We're done then, it's just, we've been living together because my house is getting renovated. So that is a lot of stress, lots of stress.
Fair play, fair play. Well, just to give you guys a little bit of a rundown for this extra special Daily Nerd live for Wednesday, the 24th of September, 2025. So, us girlies, we're going to look into, first and foremost, some unearthed comments that Megsy and Hazza are not going to like from Charlie Kirk. So we're going to get into that. Will we agree with Charlie Kirk or not? Stay tuned. Then next up, we're going to get into Sarah Ferguson's downfall with these Epstein links. Is this all a red flag warning for Meghan? I believe it is. We're going to go through that as well, and as a group, we're going to discuss. And then finally, we're going to have a little bit of fun here because Megsy has been offered to host a radio show here in the UK. And I'm just wondering, what would be on Megsy's playlist? We all have had ideas, so we're going to jump into that for the third topic for today's Daily Nerd Live. So that's what's coming up for Wednesday, the 24th of September, 2025. I mean, guys, when you read the story that Megsy had been offered to host her own radio show here in the UK, just briefly, what was your reactions to that?
Thought maybe she might actually jump on that since she's lost Spotify and Lemonada. If she, I thought maybe she'll jump on it, but I think at this point she might think that that's beneath her because after all, she is a duchess.
Nancy?
I guess my question was, what kind of radio? You would know better than us. Do they not want fans? Are they not, happy with people listening to them? I mean, because I know that if it were me and I lived in the UK and this was my local radio station, it's Magic FM. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And what kind of station is that again?
It's a shit one. In the last quarter two, I think I read they only had like between 2 to 3 million listeners in like.
And
the
what do they
quarter.
play? What sort of music?
Non-offensive, middle of the road.
Middle of the road?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're not wanting to go to any garden parties or be, the OBE thing or anything like that, because I mean, I don't understand why they would offer her something like that. She basically has spit on the UK, the people. She's called you guys racist. I'm ashamed and offended that they would even give her an offer, but maybe it's not true. Could not be true. Or did they actually come out and say it?
Yeah, they've actually come out and offered her.
Well, then they've idiots.
Actually come out and offered her this show. It's like
then they're
insane.
idiots. They're idiots.
Michelle, what was your reaction when you first heard about this?
Yeah, they're desperate because let's be honest. If they gave Meghan Markle an hour of airtime if she played her grandma tunes, it would make people tune in to a radio station that clearly needs the viewership just purely for hate listening, right? Because we all know she's boring. She would be playing songs, so she wouldn't technically be talking, and that would be a really big boost to publicity to a channel that obviously desperately needs it. That's my opinion. They're desperate.
Rest in Dollface.
Yeah, I kind of agree with everybody else. Like this seems like and we're going off of what you said, Steph, like it's really they're trying to elevate their platform and that's about all they can afford is somebody at the bottom of the barrel like that, in my opinion. And so it'd be a win-win because it would give her a gig and help people pay attention. But other than that, I don't know what she would talk about at this point. What complaining about as a mother, she has to work specific hours or, like she's gonna have her kids call in on a pre-recorded thing. Like what?
Fair play. Well, guys, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you do subscribe to today's Horsemen of the Megpocalypse. Of course, you probably have already, but for those living under a rock, make sure you subscribe to the Sidley twins, Sue Smith, Michelle over on Royal Daily Tea, Rest in Dollface, and for the one that can't be here today, Revealing the Narc. We love you, lass. Hope you can make it next time. But yeah, with that being said, let's jump into the first topic because I found out that Charlie Kirk has actually made comments about Megxie and Hazza in the past. And so just to show you guys on screen here, watching at home, Charlie Kirk has called Prince Harry a metrosexual beta male in a video viewed 1 million times. He says, "We know Prince Harry's a metrosexual beta male and really is lacking in almost all testosterone," concluding that Meghan Markle is a tradition-destroying leftist. Now, I was like, okay, a tradition-destroying leftist. I get that. But this metrosexual beta male, I'm like, okay, I need to educate myself a little bit more. And I wish I didn't Google this shiz, but the more you know, right, guys? So metrosexual is a man of ambiguous sexuality, meticulous about his grooming appearance, spent significant amount of time and money on shopping, blah, blah, blah. And a beta male is basically someone less masculine or dominant than other men. That tracks. Tell me how Charlie Kirk is lying on this one.
Well, have you seen the video? We played the video on our show.
Wow. Okay.
Do you want the video?
Yeah, please send
okay,
over the video.
After I give
absolutely.
my thoughts, I'll send it to you. And if you play it whenever you want.
Yeah.
But it basically means soy boy. That's what we call him here in Portland. But I don't know if he's metrosexual. I think at the time of the Oprah interview he was, but now he's so unkept. He's no longer that. Link Lauren has a great term for him. He's a beta male boy bitch. And that's what I mean, that's what you got to go with. A beta male is like, like I like alpha males. Like when I date men, they need to open doors. They need to be the assertive ones, and just, make the money. And beta males are like, they'll let the girl split the meal or, just stuff like that. So yeah, Charlie Kirk was on the mark. He was definitely on the mark on that video, but yeah, it was just recently unearthed. I didn't even know it existed, but he really let her have it, and him.
Anyone else want to get in on this conversation? Do you agree with what he said about Megxie, but also as well Prince Harry? Do you think he really doesn't have any balls left? Do you think they were frozen off when he went to Antarctica and, that Elizabeth Arden cream didn't work? Like, what do you guys think?
I think Meghan cut them off and stuck them in a drawer. And I think there's a bomb next to them and she's holding the detonator in her hand, telling him, do what I say or else blow them up. But not only is he unkempt, but in case you guys didn't notice, he wears the exact same outfits over and over. He doesn't care about what he's wearing. He wears the same black Izod shirt, the same. Every time you see him in the suit, it's the same gray suit.
There's an account called Harry's Gray Suit for a reason.
Yeah. He doesn't cut his hair right. Well, what little bit of hair he has left. He doesn't get a shave. You know, was it the Queen's funeral or was it the coronation where he was really in need of a haircut? And everybody commented on how unkempt he looked. It was terrible.
It was the coronation, and he didn't they didn't steam his Dior suit. Remember the back of the suit? Yeah.
Everything looked terrible, wrinkled. He looked terrible. And he's a wuss, in my opinion. He wouldn't last 5 minutes in a marriage with me. I couldn't take it.
Yeah.
I need somebody who is as, you know, strong as I am, you know, or, you know, to keep me in check. And
like it's nice sometimes to be like, you need to calm down, Nancy, you know.
Exactly.
It's like my boyfriend's like, you know, give it a break, you know.
Well, that's what I liked about Charlie Kirk, was that he preached roles. You know, a lot of people get very upset about genders, but I firmly believe, and a lot of us were raised, you know, male and female, but a lot of men, they get blamed for being what they call toxic masculinity. And it's like, no, they're called being men.
Yes.
So let's not mix it up here. I'm sorry, but I agree with you, ladies. If I can walk all over a man, what are you here for? If I have to pay for half of my lunch, I can go out with my girlfriends and have a better time, because if I'm not in a romantic feminine energy where I'm getting the princess treatment, then what do I need you for?
Exactly.
I can pay my own way any day of the week, but if I'm on a date, I'm sorry, but I want the man to pay for me, not because it's about money. It's about making me feel like I'm a woman, I'm being cherished. This is a romantic relationship. It's not a friendship. If I'm splitting the bill, I'm going home by myself.
And I'm sorry just to interject, but you know that it wasn't him that set up the Tyler Perry house and the Freedom Flight. It was all her, and her calling Oprah and doing all this stuff. It wasn't like what the Sussex squad wants to romanticize it, that he took his family out of this awful institution, this racist household, and he saved them and he brought them to America. No, he didn't. He really didn't. He went along with the plan. So that's a beta. That's a beta male.
Yeah, she runs the relationship. She is the male in that relationship.
Yeah.
And you can tell, and there was an article that came out, the differences between her relationship with her ex-husband. She was the trophy wife. Now Harry's the trophy husband. Completely different energies. If you look at how they act, completely different.
Which explains why Charlie Kirk's turning around and saying essentially he's got no balls. He's not a man. He's not the full definition of a man. He's just allowed Megsy to run roughshod all over him, really, at the end of the day.
Remember what Erica Kirk said? What the wife said? I'm your wife. I'm not there for you to trample on. I am your partner. I am equal. You must lead family, but you still have to listen to me. And we're supposed to be equal partners, even though you're leading the family. That's exactly what most, and I hate to say it, but that's what most women want.
Well, and let's just be honest at this point, and like y'all said, and you brought it up perfectly. You know, she's the one who begged for, you know, Tyler Perry's $15 million mansion to stay. He's pretty much, you know, when you look back at the actual facts, he's not a dragon slayer. He's a wind-up toy. Go out, Harry. Go show what a prince you are. Thank you. Good job. Go back in the box. I'm sorry that's the image. Like, take away, you know, stereotypical roles. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. He's wimpy. And I think part of his problem is that his whole life, everybody's taking care of him. He never had to pay a bill. He never had a job. All he had to do was go around, shake some hands, cut some ribbons, show up and act interested in whatever the hell they were sending him around for. And Pa would give him $2 or $3 million a year to do whatever he wanted. And he would jet around with his friends and do whatever. I don't think he's used to having to make life decisions. So he was perfectly fine to sit back and let Meghan make those life decisions.
Well, she thought she could just make money off his name. Like, as long as I have him with me, I will be able to make money. He doesn't. She probably knew he wasn't going to work. He wasn't going to work for her. He wasn't going to want to go to work. She probably knew that. But she goes, as long as he's connected to me, then I'll be fine. But wow, did that backfire spectacularly.
And I think we see that with her show too, because it's the same thing that we saw nobody cared about back when Pinterest and Instagram would have cared. Nobody cared that she had a crusty bread, that she put her grandmother's Am I wrong? This is the same thing we've seen before, that she put her grandmother's apple butter on it. And back then she said, I've always liked taking something ordinary and making it a little more extraordinary. And now it's elevated. Just I can't find a word.
Well, guys, there's even more with what Charlie Kirk has said about Megxie and has that I assume the Sidley twins know about. I don't know what the rest of you guys know about this or not. But on the Charlie Kirk show, he was then talking about that whole Oprah Winfrey interview, saying, I think she's making it up like JUSSIE Smollett. I think somebody said something completely different in a different category, and she's using it now to go make people feel sorry for her. And I thought that was actually a very interesting comment to make and a very interesting parallel to make. Is Megxie essentially the female version of JUSSIE Smollett?
Yes.
I think she's worse.
Yes,
She said she's worse. I mean, because she went on Oprah during the pandemic and the height of the George Floyd riots, when she knew the royal family couldn't defend themselves. She knew Prince Philip was on his way out. I'm sure there were rumblings that the Queen did have cancer. They knew all this. So I think she's 100% worse than JUSSIE Smollett being stupid enough to say that, you know, this is MAGA country in Chicago at 2 o'clock. No one walks to a subway at 2 o'clock in the freezing cold.
During
like,
there was a polar.
Yeah, no, nobody does that. And
Like
Chicago,
below
downtown
zero.
Chicago, yeah, it's MAGA country
Oh,
down there.
just
You're
sort
right.
of revealing. Hi, revealing has joined us. Hi, revealing. Nice to see you.
Hey.
Hi, everybody. I'm so glad I was able to join after all.
I'm so glad you've been able to make it. Hey, up, lads, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Not doing too bad. What's your thoughts then on Charlie Kirk calling Megxie essentially the female JUSSIE Smollett? Do you think that's called for? Do you think there's an element of truth in all of that?
So it's funny. I was gonna boycott that documentary on Netflix, and a friend of mine, she's like, I really want your take on it. So I watched it, and as soon as it started, I was like, this is Meghan Markle.
Oh, yeah.
Like I completely see it, and there's a certain kind of, I know that maybe many people won't agree with this, but there's a certain kind of evil in saying something that you know is false and that you know is just going to fuel the anger and the division and the separation that we already have. And like with JUSSIE Smollett, he was doing that during election time. And he said the people that attacked him were saying MAGA, and they were saying homophobic things. And what the intention behind that is to vilify, falsely vilify the opposing side. And it just, I don't know. It's the intention behind it, and there's true evil when you're trying to sow, or is it sow?
Yeah, you're
Bad
trying to
oats?
sow division.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
division.
Exactly.
Which, do you know what? That brings me to mind to what Megxie did with her ex-BFF.
We all laugh. We all laugh at the same
Got
time.
multiple BFFs. Which BFF?
Which one?
So a lot of them.
Jessica Mulroney is the one that springs to mind for me. Where
yes.
in the height of the Black Lives Matter movement, Jessica Mulroney was incorrectly cancelled, something she didn't do, yet Megxie took the other side and completely vilified her for no reason whatsoever, no good reason whatsoever. And it seems like that's the same playbook that JUSSIE Smollett did,
Well,
vilifying the other side falsely.
Yeah. It's showing a lack of integrity. And, you know, this is just like, you know, it's showing that your best friend is capable of making a mistake. And we saw what she was DMing that woman, Jessica Mulroney, was DMing this woman back and forth, and it was nasty. It was a nasty little cat fight. And unfortunately, she did get caught up in the emotion of it. And she thought she was too big for her britches. She thought she could silence this woman. I don't think it had anything to do with her skin color. I think Jessica just thought she was bigger than she thought she was.
Yeah.
But it shows a lack of integrity and loyalty in Meghan, because if that was truly her best friend, where's the forgiveness? You know, it's like with my friends can like, yeah, everyone makes mistakes. I make mistakes, but like Jessica apologized. So to me, it shows like her character, Meghan's character, by tossing her aside and going, well, you know, she made one mistake. I'm never going to talk to her again. Like, to me, that it just, at the time I was so grossed out. It was gross.
Same thing with her dad. Her dad made one mistake and she right out the window. But if you're going to go for the race card, there's another Netflix documentary that just came out, and that's the Norwegian royal family with Martha Louise, who married the bisexual HIV positive Black man who claims he's a shaman. But the Norwegian family has learned from the British family, and they came out and cried racism and said horrible things about the royals. And the royals have come out and said, you have now broken the agreement. And so Martha Louise and her shaman husband now, Durit, whatever his name is, Durik, whatever, have now put out a statement. I'll be covering this on my next video. They've put out a statement where they're retracting every single nasty thing they said in the document. I never said they were racist. I never said this. I never said, even though it's right there in the Netflix.
Really?
Oh, they're retracting it all because they realized they went too far. And and now 85% of the Norwegian people want her princess title and everything stripped from her. They want everything stripped because they made an agreement not to put the royal family in that Netflix docuseries, and they made an agreement not to capitalize from their titles, and then they did.
That whole series was nothing but bashing the royal family. I'm a prince, and they won't say it. I'm a this, and they're being mean.
Right.
And that's why after the Oprah interview, they were like, "Did we treat you that way?"
Yep. And he goes, and my family said, let's be fair. The only thing they don't want is you showing up on Oprah. I mean, he said horrible things about the family, and they are now trying to backtrack it. So it's the exact same thing.
I see that parallel there with Hazza and Megzi in the Oprah interview, where they point blank, as far as I'm concerned, said that the royals were racist, putting a target on all the royal family's backs, because people were then saying, okay, who's the royal racist? Who's the one that questioned the colour of the skin of unborn baby Archie, this, that, and the other, right? Then all the headlines came out. The royal racist, Hazza and Megzi, blah, blah, blah. Not once during that period did Hazza and Megzi, through their spokesperson, turn around and said, we didn't call them racist, it's unconscious biasness. They let that narrative fester and go for years until Hazza then releases his book Spare, goes on the promotional tour and says, we didn't say it was racist, we said unconscious biasness.
But
And
you know
only
what the beauty,
corrects
but
the
the
story
beauty of
after
that
the
is,
damage is already done.
yeah, but you know what the beauty of that is that, you know, they always say give someone enough rope, they hang themselves. They've hung themselves because they've proven themselves to be liars and hypocrites. And we all know if you're married into a family and they treat you horrifically and they're racist and they abuse you and don't do it, you know, treat you nicely, you're not going to fight so hard to be associated with that family. You're not going to keep a title. You're not going to give your children the title. You're not going to fight so hard to be half in and half out. You're going to slam the door and cut all ties. He even backtracked on the BBC interview saying, we didn't say it. It was the British media.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, the British media. You know, he tried to act like we're all stupid and we didn't hear them say it. And you could tell he was halfway not believing what he was saying. He had a smirk on his face. I think it was resting doll face when you said that you're literally, or maybe it was revealing that you literally know that you're lying. You're not telling the truth. He knew he was lying as he was saying it to that guy. We didn't say it. It was the British media. I'm like, yeah, you did.
The interviewer was sitting there going, are we talking about the same interview? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not asking you what you did with the elephants in Africa. We're talking about the interview where you said it. Like they were sitting there. I think it was Anderson Cooper and that Tom Bradby person. Was that
No,
it?
Tom Bradby was the person who said, "But you called your family racist," and the whole time he's like, "Nope, did Meghan ever say it?" She kind of said to Oprah, "If you're implying
There were
or you're implying
concerns
about
and
skin color, then yes, I
Concerns
would
and
say that's true."
conversations.
It
Yeah.
was very clearly racially motivated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't call them racist. That's the conclusion the British press came up with. So go after the British press after
Bye.
we literally used the definition of racist
Can
throughout
I
the
So
say
whole
this is
something?
interview.
the thing, right? Okay, let's take their clap back for a second, right? And treat it with a little bit of a pinch of salt. So okay, they didn't call the royal family racist. They certainly insinuated it to the point where it became headline news all over the world and then some. And not once did they turn around with their spokesperson as it was caught on fire all over the world to try and correct the story until a couple of years later.
Yeah.
So to me, it's absolutely BS for them to turn around and say, we never called them racist. We never called them racist.
Can I say
No, you
something
did.
really quick?
Go on.
Just a reminder, they accepted an award for fighting racism in the British monarchy.
Yes. What,
They
hey, we're
they
doing,
accepted an award about it.
An American award.
wasn't it that night that Gayle King was on the carpet? I think it was that night that Gayle King said they don't believe the royal family's racist. And then she pointed at Harry and Meghan and said, and I don't think they believe it either. She said that as they were going in to get the award.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And these awards are pay to play, right? So
Yes.
that does that mean Harry and Meghan bought this award saying that
Yes.
we fought institutional racism and then turned around and say, we never said that?
They seriously thought that's how they were going to make their money. It was so fashionable in 2020, 2021 to knock down the wall. Remember the Joint Chiefs of Staff guy, what was his name? He was in front of Congress and he was like, I wanna meet the ghosts of institutional racism within the Pentagon walls, like, because it was all, I'm telling you, like, he really did say that. People had to say certain things back then or they'd get canceled. So she thought she could intimidate everybody into not saying anything, like the emperor has no clothes. But Steph, I just sent you a little montage of them saying we never were racist. And then I have the whole Charlie Kirk thing, but I need your email because it's too big to send. But
Okay.
I have the little snippet of Oprah actually saying,
Whoa.
like, you have to play this right now, this little snippet. I haven't sent it to you yet. I'm gonna send it right now.
Okay.
I'm sorry to like tell you what to do.
No, tell me what to do. It's
Bossy?
absolutely fine.
No, because
I
see,
can be the submissive one last.
if I hadn't found this Charlie Kirk little snippet, Oprah and Meghan had buried this part of the interview. They had buried this, the part where Oprah says, "You mean to tell me that because of your baby being too brown, that would have been a problem?" And listen to what Meghan says. Okay, I just sent it. Why is it not letting me start do anything? Oh, there's your email. Okay, guys, discuss. I'm going to email it to you.
Well,
Is that
what
easier?
I was going to say, I wanted to say, while you guys were talking about that, she also lied when she said, I've been a mom and an actress, and I'm not attached to the titles. The titles mean nothing to me. My most important thing is mom. And then we find out she's using the HRH privately, which is totally against the Sandringham Agreement. And then they grabbed those prince and princess titles for their kids the second Charles became king. After they said that they were going to let the kids decide when they got older, then they flipped the script and grabbed them as quick as they could.
And the thing is they're saying, oh, she sent that in a private capacity. No, let's get something straight. I think there is a lot of people in the public who would see that and go, that's the only reason she returned your call. This is a billionaire. Nobody knows who you are. So to see HRH, they're all of a sudden going to go, oh, that's somebody important. Or if you had princess in front of it or duchess in front. I mean, look at what happened with Fergie over here. I'm sorry, Meghan, you're trying to rewrite history in America. But we remember.
It's going down with Fergie. That's a whole nother, we'll get there, but that's a whole nother.
Okay, I sent it. Sorry, guys. Sorry out there. I'm being I'm being slow today with this. Sorry.
It's just you.
Let's have
I
a
know.
look.
See, you guys see, this is why you ladies are so much more talented than Stephanie and I, because we need the two of us to put a show together
Oh,
and
Nancy.
yeah,
do you
to
remember,
rely on each other.
Do you remember our live that we did yesterday? So I wanted to clarify
And
something if
also-
people were out there. So remember during our live when I had said that during the toe sucking incident with Fergie, because the article had stated that she was pregnant, but she wasn't. So she had actually started an affair while she was pregnant with Eugenie with a Texas billionaire, Steve Wyatt. And then 2 years later in 1992, she got with his friend who was doing the toe sucking. So I wanted to clarify that because I
Okay.
told people she was pregnant during the toe sucking. Sorry, but I
It
found
doesn't
out
make
that
it any better.
It
No.
doesn't
Make
make it any better, but I wanted to
It's like-
clarify that fact that we talked about. Sorry, guys.
No, I remember. Yeah, but
All
I like
right.
people correcting us.
I've
Okay,
got the
Steph,
clip
go.
from Nancy.
Sorry for the visual.
So
Sorry for the visual.
let's have a quick play of this. All right.
And also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born. That was relayed to me from Harry. Those were conversations that family had with him.
If he were too brown, that would be a problem. Are you saying that?
I wasn't able to follow up with why, but that if that's the assumption you're making, I think
can't
that
hear it.
feels like a pretty safe one.
I can't either. Are you playing it?
Yeah,
I
I've
don't.
played it. Don't worry, guys. Just to kind of recap for the ladies here.
Ladies,
Megxie
check your
turned
X
round and she
page.
was like, if that's the assumption that you're going to make, that would be a reasonable one to conclude.
Yeah,
to.
so she goes, yeah, girls, I sent it to our group chat if
Cool.
you want to watch that there. Yeah. But yeah, can you believe that she let Oprah answer the question?
Yeah.
The audience watched it, right? You guys
Yeah.
just watched it? Yeah.
yeah.
So Oprah, she was leading Oprah to say that. So she basically said, if they were having concerns if the baby's skin was going to be too brown, and then instead of her going, well, I wasn't there, I heard it from Harry, she goes, I would have to say that's, you guys saw it.
Yeah.
It's insane. And and if I didn't find that Charlie Kirk clip, that video that part was erased. I have looked everywhere for that because I remember hearing it in the live one, but I couldn't find it anywhere.
Oh, Oprah interview's been wiped. You can't get it.
That's why this clip was so special to me when this Charlie Kirk thing came out. I was like, oh my God. I go, this is gold, because he was smart enough to grab that particular clip. This was the day after the Oprah interview that he did all this. So thanks,
And
Charlie.
Thank you, Charlie. Yeah, and you for replaying it, because if not, and this is what a lot of people don't understand. If not, this is what allows people to rewrite history, to gaslight the public, because
Yeah.
it becomes lost media. This is the
Yeah.
importance of these conversations.
Exactly. And that's why we keep drilling it and drilling it and drilling it. And it's so important for everybody, all your shows, to like we'll send each other clips, and I'll say, or Sue will send me something, or Resting Dollface will send me something, and then we'll put it on our shows too. Because it's not like no one's here because we're trying to get like content. No, we're trying to make this go mainstream, that this woman lied. This woman went on Oprah and lied her bum off about, and we have the proof. That's why she's never gone after us, is because we are proving it. It is in her court now to disprove us.
I actually did the whole Oprah show. I call it a show because it wasn't really an interview. There were no tough questions. There was no questioning. But I actually did a review of the Oprah show where I provide proof against every allegation they made, from where Harry said, I never got to ride on the back of a bike. Boom, there's pictures of him on the back of a bike. To my father cut me off. Boom. Come to find out that his father gave him a payoff of several $1 million. You know what I mean? You just go through it all and you realize this was all bull.
It was orchestrated. It was totally orchestrated. I mean, finding that clip from the Me You Can't See that he did with Oprah, that one tiny clip that a lot of people forgot about, where he said that his mother died because she was dating a person of color, and now history is repeating itself.
Yeah.
What?
Did you see the clip also where he's driving and he goes, every ask for help, everything was just pushed away. They wouldn't help us.
Wouldn't listen to us. They wouldn't do anything for us.
And then when he said, and my wife came to me and said she wanted to unalive herself with my baby, our baby still inside her, but she said she couldn't do it because she knew how much loss I already had, and she couldn't bring herself to do it because it would be unfair to me. I'm telling you, people that are truly wanting to do that don't think that way.
But then when he contradicted himself and said when she told him she needed help, he was too embarrassed to ask. Remember that?
Exactly.
So he contradicted himself. Did you go to HR? Did you ask? I mean, the whole thing was just
It's ridiculous. Yeah, I agree, because the whole thing is, I mean, to say they wouldn't help us, they wouldn't help us, they wouldn't protect us. I think, if anything, Harry and Meghan have shown just how much the palace did protect them. Okay,
Yes.
because them speaking out as freely as they are is embarrassing.
That's it. And by the way, that whole they didn't protect us thing on the Netflix stuff for the Norwegian, Martha Louise and this guy.
Yeah.
Same thing. The palace didn't protect me. The palace didn't protect me. The palace wouldn't go out and say nice things about me. So it made people think that I was just being tolerated. I mean, it's the exact same thing. They wanted the palace to constantly gush about them. And when they didn't, they screamed foul.
Now, this is the thing, right? So being in the UK, being here when Megxie entered the scene and then left the scene, this, that, and the other, I'm telling you right now, it's obvious to everyone, but from actual experience being here at that time, the majority of the coverage was overwhelmingly positive for Megxie. We wanted to copy her. We wanted to see her style. We hung on her every word. We saw her as a push in the right direction for the monarchy, the modernization of the monarchy. Here was someone that came from Hollywood, right? That was glamorous, pretty, this, that, and the other. We kind of saw her as our English version, let's say, of Grace Kelly in a way. That's how she was treated. Everything that she wore, it were broken down so we could copy it. There was at one point, she was more popular in the UK than Princess Catherine. Her style was even more popular than Princess Catherine during that period, believe it or not, right? And so for her to turn around and say she had this awful time, the press went into her, this, that, and the other, the public turned against her, blah, 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 it's absolute BS. The turning point where it all went to shiz for her was when she started to bite the hand that feeds, right? So for those that don't know, the royal family is partially funded by us, the British taxpayer. And so because we are essentially investors in, let's say, the royal family, we expect something back. And what we expect back is to kind of be part of the big milestone moments. So when we weren't a part of, let's say, the christening for Archie, which was really for us the first time we were like, hang on a minute, what the hell? We were like, hang on a minute, excuse you? We don't even get like, we only had like one picture, that was it. We didn't have, let's say, the cameras there showing them going into the church with baby Archie. We didn't see any of that. It was just one picture and that was it. And we were like, hang on a minute, what? And they were all saying, oh, it's for the privacy, this, that, and the other. Excuse you, do you understand what you've just married into here? Then it was more privacy, more privacy, more privacy. And they weren't giving us anything back in terms of their milestones in their lives, this, that, and the other. We didn't even know where baby Archie was being born until literally the last minute, allegedly, this, that, and the other. It was all freaking strange and weird. And then the last bit that really kind of turned us was when in front of Bradbury in South Africa, he turns around and he says, how are you doing? And there's tears in her eyes. She was like, you're the first person that's really asked me. It's like, bitch, please, you're married into the royal family. You have everything literally on a silver platter. What the hell are you to complain about, really, at the end of the day? And then Megxie happened, and then that were it.
Right. You know what's really funny is that Harry and Meghan were so miserable as working royals. They could barely do any work. And like you said, that little face that she made when she went and visited these African women who had suffered the worst atrocities, and she had the nerve to say, but no one asked about me. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, they're so miserable. And then, like you said, they wouldn't share the christening photos, the pregnancy. She wouldn't cooperate. She did it her way. So again, it's the old saying, be careful what you ask for, because the Lord giveth and taketh away. So here you have Harry and Meghan, who were like, they had everything. They complained the whole time. They didn't want to do it because it was so taxing to have to participate and take a photo of their kid. Now they're wanting to come back, and they're like, sorry, doors shut, you can't come back. And now they're like, look at the back of Archie's head. Isn't he cute? Look at Lilybeth's nasty hair. Here it is, check her out. It's like now they're going to start pushing the kids in front of us to get attention, because the Wells's children are starting to get center stage.
Royal Daily Tea, I think you're onto
Elizabeth,
something.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because I know people like this, and then they push their kids in front of you, and people are like, we're good.
But
We
you
don't
see,
want to
it's
see 'em
Brush
anymore.
her hair.
well,
Yeah, I didn't mean to say nasty. I didn't mean to say nasty. I meant to say her unruly hair. She has pretty hair. We're going to clarify. But again, it's like they
Thank
didn't
you.
want to participate and share their kids.
because
And
I
now they're
think she
pushing in
wanted to
front of us.
monetize them from the
Yeah,
get-go, because the
right.
fact like look, you want to have a private christening, oh, we had a private ceremony. Those things were, to me, dangled in front of Oprah, like to, it was a sales tactic to garner interest, to get people to speak about them. It was a PR tactic, those lies and kind of thing. Because if she wanted to have a private christening, we didn't know who Archie's godparents were. That's fine. But what it seemed more like, because when they introduced Archie that day, and CBS it had the exclusive because of Gayle King,
Yeah.
it seemed it was about because of her relationships with these people, and she always had an ulterior motive. That's what it came across to me. And anybody who's done any digging or remembers what Fergie and Andrew did, they did the same thing. They sold pictures of baby Eugenie because they were caught spending too much money. So they sold the pictures, and then to pay for their house, what was it? Was it okay or hello? Something like that. Australia, they sold. Look at our extravagance. Look at how we're living. And they got like a multi-page spread. And so when you look back at like the things that Harry and Meghan have released on their websites through the years, there's precedence for being half in and half out. There's precedence. So now we're really seeing that comes ahead with Andrew and Fergie.
I agree.
Well, speaking actually of Andrew and Fergie, let's get into then a nice little segue to get into the second topic for today's Daily Nerd Live, because Sarah Ferguson's downfall with her Epstein emails, the Epstein links, I think is actually a red flag warning for Meghan. Now, just for the audience out there that's watching, whether live or on the replay, hey up guys, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Let me just give you a little bit of a quick rundown. And so Sarah Vine here on the Daily Mail says that there's striking similarities between Sarah Ferguson and Meghan, and why Fergie's downfall should be a red flag for the Sussexes. And so, she's saying, they've got expensive, both have like expensive tastes and a grabby, ambitious nature, casting themselves as kind and caring while showing complete disregard for everyone else's feelings, framing themselves as victims by way of deflecting responsibility for their own actions, using their royal connections for personal gain while showing a total lack of respect for the institution of the monarchy. You're talking one of the same people here, but this is both Fergie and Megxie. And so over the week, the revelations about Sarah Ferguson's connections with Epstein have obviously made for very uncomfortable reading. But I wonder if that also makes for very uncomfortable reading for Megxie as well. Why? Because I remember this. Do you guys remember it? This was about 4 years ago nearly now, where Virginia Giuffre's lawyer actually wanted to call on Megxie to testify in the Prince Andrew case at the time. Her lawyer saying that Megxie could have had some important knowledge about the whole case, saying that he believed that Megxie could be expected to tell the truth. Yeah, okay. But also said she's somebody we can count on to tell the truth. that she was a close companion to Prince Andrew and therefore probably saw what he did, citing 3 reasons as to why Megxie could have been potentially deposed for this case. 1, she's in the US, so we have jurisdiction over her. 2, she's somebody who obviously, at least for a period of time, was a close associate of Prince Andrew and hence is in a position to perhaps have seen what he did. And perhaps if not to have seen what he did, to have heard people talk about it. Because of her past association with him, she may very well have important knowledge and will certainly have some knowledge. And 3, she's somebody who we can count on to tell the truth. She checks all 3 boxes. So, guys, I see Sarah Ferguson's downfall with her Epstein links. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute, is this a red flag warning for Megxie? Could Megxie actually be next? What do you guys think?
Well, Sarah was involved. Well, again, this is, you have the Epstein thing. You have Sarah coming out in public and saying, I think what he did was terrible. We want nothing to do with this man, blah, blah, blah. And then days later sends him a gushing email. You're my best friend and I'm going to back you and blah, blah, blah. Now she's come out now and said that she sent that email. And by the way, her PR person has also just spoken out.
Yeah.
Said that he also spoke with Epstein and said he had like a Hannibal Lecter, feel about him. And he was very cold and calculated when he spoke, and scary guy, and said that he was threatening to destroy the Yorks, and that Sarah sent that email to get him to stop threatening them. And as soon as she sent the email, the threats stopped and she stopped all communication.
Yeah, I read that she was saying something along the lines of she sent that email to Epstein to protect her daughters, basically.
Yes, because he was gonna, well, what do you think is happening to the daughters now? I mean, it's just,
yeah, but there might have been something worse.
Yeah, there might have been something else.
I think he had something on the Yorks. And the funny thing is, Nancy and I were kind of talking about this yesterday on her live. It wasn't about the $20,000, but I do believe he was a scary dude. I mean, he had a lot of power. He knew a lot of people. He has people in his back pocket, billionaire. So I think what happened is he threatened to destroy her family, maybe expose the secrets. And so she kind of was like, I'm so sorry, sir. And she was smart to do that if that was the case, and then maybe she cut off communication. I don't know if we have any other proof of her interacting with him after the fact. It's not resolving her of her guilty by association and all the slimy things, unfortunately, that she's done, because she's done more. She got in what was it? The Cash for Access scandal happened in 2011. The same year, I believe this letter happened, and William disinvited her to the wedding. So she has been involved. Her and Andrew both have been involved in quite a few things. But I mean, I guess I can kind of believe the fact that maybe she was scared of him due to that. But that still doesn't resolve the fact that she continued to associate with him after he was arrested, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know if after he was arrested, but I will just say this. I have the greatest sympathy for people that are trafficked. I know there are people that are trafficked, and I don't want to go down that road. And I'm not saying that Virginia Giuffre wasn't trafficked. I don't know if she was or wasn't. But the truth is, for me, and you guys all know this, and I've said this before, once you're caught in a lie, it's over for me. And she was caught perjuring herself on the stand. And then she went after people like Alan Dershowitz, and Alan Dershowitz said, I'm going to fight this. And the second that court was about to start, she retracted her statements against Alan Dershowitz and the case got dropped. She's, right before she died, she put up a thing with a picture saying, I've got 4 days left to live, which turned out to be a lie. Also, she claimed she was in this massive accident, which come to find out she wasn't.
What?
She
wasn't in an accident.
That whole thing was really weird. It was really weird.
She was in an accident with a school bus, but it was a minor accident. Police were not there. And then she put up pictures of her bruised from head to toe and a statement saying she was dying and she wanted to see her children because her husband was divorcing her and took the children. And she was
in Australia, right? Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So she put this out, and then when big news got a hold of it, then she was like, I'm sorry, I meant to put it privately on Facebook. It wasn't for main consumption. And then the police spoke up and said there was no major accident. This was not true.
Now, this is the thing, right? So, I'm glad you said all that, because with Virginia Giuffre, do I believe Prince Andrew is an absolute slimeball scumbag? Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I do. I've been reading Andrew Lowney's Entitled, and oh my goodness, the parallels between Fergie and Megxie in that book is off the
Yes.
chain. It is insane
Oh, I haven't read
to
it
see
yet.
those parallels, right?
Yeah.
Now,
No spoilers.
no spoilers. I'm
haven't
not going to
read
put
it
no spoilers. But it's
I haven't read it
fascinating
yet.
reading. Get the book. Defo recommend. It's essential reading for this community, I would say. Anywho, this is a thing with Virginia Giuffre. I don't believe her. I don't believe her. She is not credible enough for me. She has discredited herself so many times. What is truth and what's not? Now, I did a video a few years back, actually, and I found this Daily Mail article. It was the first interview that Virginia Giuffre ever did with her name. Before she was anonymous. This was the first interview where she came out, her face on the page, her name, everything. And she makes the allegations against Epstein, fine. She talks about Prince Andrew in this article, and she highlights 2 or 3 times that she met Prince Andrew. The article describes her as the following: that she's steely, that she's resolute. Paraphrasing here, she knows exactly what she's saying. She knows exactly what she's saying. The article then also says that in no way, shape or form, again paraphrasing here, is Virginia Giuffre ever insinuating that anything untoward actually happened between her and Prince Andrew when she was in the same room as him. Now, this article came out in about 2011, 2012, right? This interview. 4 or 5 years later, what happens? Prince Andrew's a monster. Hang on a minute. That's not what you originally said. You originally said you met with Prince Andrew, you saw him a couple of times, but not once did you say anything untoward happened between you two. And the journalist was at pains to also make that point as well. So for me, it's like, hang on a minute, I actually don't believe her, in all honesty. My mind is open to evidence that'll prove otherwise, and I'm more than happy to change my mind. Based on everything I've seen so far, she's not credible. And when you hear from the other Epstein victims out there, they're all saying the same thing. She's not one of us. She freaking recruited us. She was
Exactly. She
part
worked
of
for
it.
him.
She was part
Yeah,
of it.
she was getting a huge paycheck. At one point, she might have been trafficked as a young girl, but she was 17, and then she quickly stayed with him for years, getting a paycheck, traveling all over the world, hanging out with celebrities. And at one point, she got $500,000 from Jeffrey Epstein before the trial. That's a payout. Why would he give it to you if you're a victim? And she was recruiting girls, like you said, and I believe some girls were actually going to sue her
Yep.
for recruiting. So in my opinion, always was, she was trying to be Ghislaine Maxwell Jr., but Ghislaine Maxwell was the only one who went to prison. When she was making money, she was traveling the world. She was an employee of Jeffrey E., right? So what was the difference?
Can I
I
say
mean, I'm
something,
not saying
guys?
she wasn't a victim, but
yeah,
Wait,
let's hear what
let
reveal.
me just say one thing. Did you hear what you just said? You said she was 17, right?
when
She
she
was,
started, but she stayed for years and then
but she
worked
was
for him and got a
over,
paycheck.
she
Yeah.
was over the legal age of consent in New York and in the UK.
Correct.
And her parents, because she was 17, had to co-sign for her passport. Just saying.
Yeah.
So everyone, I think I'm the odd one out here.
I think you and I might be the same, revealing.
Yeah,
Continue.
Fair play.
I want to say that everything that's described here could also be the result of someone who was the victim of SA. Now, okay, 17 years old, legal age, whatever, adults can be SA'd also.
Yes.
And if she was paid $500,000 by Epstein, could that be to get to silence her? And if in 2011, 2012, so I'm not a big follower of the Jeffrey stuff, but I absolutely believe that there are tons of powerful people that were all benefiting from him. We don't know a lot of these names, but
Mm,
I have a lot of people that I think
yeah.
are. And in 2011, 2012, when Virginia came out, maybe she wasn't ready to talk about it yet. Maybe she didn't have the strength in numbers to say it yet. Maybe she hadn't been to enough therapy to be able, a lot of times victims of abuse don't even recognize that it's abuse. They think they have a choice, and actually, there really is no choice.
Well, what she always said was that
Fair
she was a
play.
victim, but what we're saying is she might have been a victim at one point, but later on she stayed for years and she recruited a ton of girls for him. And the other girls had said she worked for him. She was more like Ghislaine. She wasn't a victim in their eyes. A lot of them were actually going to sue her because she recruited them into victimhood. Now, I'm not saying she wasn't a victim, but she was enjoying the traveling, she was partying, she was making a ton of money. That was even before the 500,000 payout
Yeah.
that she received from Epstein. She was on the payroll for years. So again, I'm not saying she wasn't a victim, but when do we cross the line between being a victim and, hey, I like this lifestyle, I'm getting paid, I'm traveling, I'm hanging out with celebrities? She wasn't chained. Okay, now I'm not saying he couldn't have forced her, but I'm just saying even the other girls who she recruited, like Steph said, they didn't consider her on the same level as them because she was more with Ghislaine and with Jeffrey.
I mean,
That's
I
what I'm
hear
and
what you
saying.
guys are saying. The bit that kind of kills it all for me is that she for years said, for Alan Dershowitz, he's a monster, he's a monster, he's a monster. He did this to me, he did this to me, he did this to me. And she said that for quite a while, right? Only to then turn round, drop her lawsuit, and essentially say, I misremembered. Sorry, whoops, my bad, my mistake. Alan Dershowitz is actually one of the good guys. So for me, then the
Doesn't
question
that
is,
sound like a
if
payout?
she was so strong in her conviction beforehand that Alan was one of the monsters, and then all of a sudden turns around and says, "No, my bad, I made a mistake on that." Who else could she have potentially made a mistake on in terms of her other allegations to other people as well, including Prince Andrew? Now, Prince Andrew,
Ooh.
people kind of go to the payout from Prince Andrew of over £10 million, which, by the way, didn't come from Prince Andrew. Of course, it came from the Queen. But
Right.
they say, look, if Prince Andrew wasn't guilty and had nothing to worry about this, that, and the other, then why did he pay her off? Why did he pay her off? For me, it's like, well, hang on a minute. You've got to think of the timing of it all. That year, he paid her off in January. It was the same year where in June, July, you then had the Queen's Jubilee. Then in September, there was going to be the court case that was then going to happen between Prince Andrew and Virginia Giuffre. If he didn't pay her off back in January, then that court case would have been an absolute dark cloud over that historic Queen's Jubilee, which the palace won't want, the Queen won't want, the institution wouldn't have wanted.
Ooh, that's a good point.
So
And you're
for,
right.
so for me, it was a
Wow.
case of he was pushed. He had to fall on the sword for the crown. Because you got to protect
Right.
the crown above everything else, right?
See, I like where you're going with that.
And
I
that's
like
the
that.
thing.
I
Yeah,
like that.
I was gonna say, like, just from things that I've noticed in legal things, instead of like going all the way back to, about her past and everything, the fact that she said, and now I'm going off what Revealing said, it sounds like a payout or witness
Mhm.
intimidation, but now you've got cleanup to do,
Yeah.
right? So now you've got, well, you've been saying this for years, you've been saying this for years. I wouldn't throw it out there as impossible. Like I do see this as a possibility that they said, guys, we need a fall guy right now.
Yeah.
And like you said, Steph, you know what? You know who is a very prominent public figure? Prince Andrew. They've got this coming up. And guilty or not, like, let's just say that picture is real. And I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Maybe, let's just say she was trafficked, but he thought it was consensual because you're acting out of fear, you're taught, hey, go make them happy. There's a lot of this kind of stuff that we've seen like in the sports world and stuff like that. And that's for a different conversation. But to say, okay, now that we have this powerful person has been blamed on, we need a fall guy, we need to zip this up. There's
Yep.
too much because the media was different when she changed her story versus what it was in 2011. We had no voices back then. Social media was just beginning. MySpace was check out my cool background. We all
That's
have the
right.
same friend, and I've got, my favorite song playing.
Yeah.
So so nobody really listened about things like this before, and nor did we have access to the documents like we did. So much has changed in that short amount of time. So yeah, just and I can see it. Look, to make something go away because to have to go through trial is so taxing. Okay. No matter what, whether you're falsely accused, whatever, that if it's something like, look, all you've got to do is this, both sides agree, it's nobody agreeing that you're guilty, blah, blah, blah. And like you said, you have the platinum jubilee. What perfect pressure then to come out and say, he did these wrongful things to me, not this other person. It really did happen. Get the payout. But unfortunately for her, then all of a sudden she became the person. Now all these other victims are speaking out, going, whoa, 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 whoa. Why should you get compensated? You brought
Right.
us in. You
Yeah.
ruined our lives. You took advantage of us. I
And
mean, I
and
can
to
kind of see that.
revealing yeah, and to revealing's point, I do believe she might have got paid off. I believe that lawyer, he could have been a client. I'm not saying he did anything illegal,
Mm.
but he maybe wanted to clean up his act and maybe threatened her. She might not have had a lot of proof, and I'm sure money might have exchanged hands. That's my opinion because the girl was getting money left and right.
Can I just say, first of all, that picture always worried me because could you imagine if Andrew walked into that apartment and the girl goes, "Can I get a picture with you?" And he goes, "Sure." And he puts his arm around her, takes the picture and walks off and doesn't give it a second thought.
I-
That picture by itself proves nothing. Plus, nobody ever
Exactly.
found the original. Nobody ever found the original.
Exactly.
It's a tough one because I know that after the Time's Up and Me Too and everything, I mean, even my boyfriend for a while was scared to take pictures with people. It was a weird time to take pictures with people.
I mean, you've
because-
seen Keanu. He
Yeah,
always
like
keeps his hands back. Like we saw it
yeah,
from
they
what's
do
his
that
name,
now. Like
Jason Thick, was it Alan's son? Like he got caught goosing that girl, and his life, nobody cared about his song anymore.
it happened with Lee Brung Hun from Squid Game. He now puts his hands right in front of him. I mean, it's sad what these poor guys go through. I personally think it's so sad because it takes one picture for someone to say, "Oh, they were touching my bum," or they were doing, it sucks.
But
So.
it goes back to what Sue said and what I've actually said in the past as well. That picture, everyone goes on about that damn picture with Prince Andrew, Virginia Giuffre, and Maxi Pad in the background. And this is the thing. So what? He took a picture with her. Okay. Does that then automatically mean he did everything that she accused him of? No, it doesn't at all. All it just shows is that he was in the same room at the same time with her, took a picture with her, and that's it. We don't know what happened before or after that. And that picture is literally a millisecond, and that's it.
Yeah.
So what? So what if the picture's real or not? In that sense as well. That to me is a complete red herring. The picture's real, still don't prove anything. And if the picture's not real, again, it still don't prove anything. Do you know what I mean?
I like it when somebody asked him, was it the girl that interviewed him, where he's like, I don't remember taking that picture. Yeah, you know how many pictures he takes with people? It's like celebrities, like you showing them a picture from 10 years ago and saying, "Remember when I took this picture with you?"
Yeah.
You think they remember that?
Well,
Like,
remember, Kerry Washington didn't remember taking that picture with Meghan all those years
good
ago.
Lord. I mean, do any of us remember? I can't remember what I
No.
took 10 years ago. I mean, if I would be in hot water. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't remember what I did 5 minutes ago. now.
exactly.
there you go.
Exactly.
I can't remember what I had for breakfast.
Well, guys, on that bombshell, let's get on to the third topic for today's Daily Nerd Live. Meghan Markle to move back to the UK to host a radio show. Like, seriously, guys, I saw this article and I was like, dude, hell no. So apparently, in a Netflix show with Love Meghan, which I didn't see season 2, I spent enough brain cells on season 1, so screw that noise now. Apparently, she heaped praise on Magic Radio, claiming it was one of the things she actually missed most about the UK. And now Paul Sylvester, content director of Magic, has said, quote, "We had conversations with the Sussex team, and if the Duchess would like to add radio presenter to a CV, there's an offer on the table." Do you think she'd actually take this offer? You think she's really considering this?
She's desperate for any attention, but I mean, all she would do is talk about herself. I mean, all she did on Lemonada was in every single episode was talk about her pregnancy. All she did on every single episode of Spotify was slam the royal family. I mean, you just have to figure out what her shtick is going to be, and that will be whatever she talks about on the radio show. It's Bracia. I mean, the other thing I don't get is she said, "I missed that radio show." That's another lie, because you could listen to that in the United States.
And to be fair, while she was here in the UK, I do not remember and could not find an article or a quote where she was, you know, completely extolling the virtues of Magic FM, which, by the way, guys, Magic FM, for those that don't know, it is a UK-based radio station. It's not like BBC One, BBC Radio 1 or BBC Radio 2. It's not that big. I Googled it earlier on, and in Q2 of this year, they only had like between 2 to 3 million listeners. Not really anyone goes into it anyway and listens to it. It's very middle of the road, very safe kind of radio station situation. Let's put it this way. They're not going to be playing Alter Bridge anytime soon. I think Alter Bridge would rock their little tiny worlds. But yeah, what else do you think that Megsy would actually talk about on Magic Radio if she actually hosted a show on there?
Can I ask a question, everybody? So I haven't listened to the actual radio in a long time. I remember, though, the DJs used to answer the phone. So is she going to be answering the phone calls when people call in? That
good
would be
question.
entertaining to listen to.
I'd call it.
Probably not. Probably
she
not.
won't. She wouldn't even. Guys, she only takes softball interviews. What makes you think she would actually take a cold call from anybody? I mean, that would be.
She would be talking about herself for an hour
Yeah.
and playing those oldie
Yeah.
tunes, talking about H and how he loves her so much.
I think, like, if she had her own show there, I think because she thinks everyone's stupid in America. That's why she was like recycling things like her Pearl and stuff. So I think she would go to the UK and, like, you know, her theme song would be WKRP in Cincinnati or something, and just hope that nobody's ever heard of that show, you know, and play that in the background and go, you know, Archie wrote that on his drums, and just recycle a bunch of American things and just hope that nobody notices, because that's what she did here. She just said, I just hope nobody noticed that I'm copying everybody. So
Would she read
Steph,
out her
you know
diary
that
of what
show?
the kids do?
WKRP in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Steph,
know
do
the
you know what
so-
that is?
Oh, the what?
I believe it's like a radio channel in Cincinnati. I know you guys in America, sorry if this sounds a little bit
was a
offensive, but
TV
you have
show,
some
wasn't it?
weird kind of letters that go before like a radio channel.
Yeah, like we have
WKZY Cincinnati
Yeah.
101. Tune in.
Z100, or Howard Stern would go WNBC, and
Yeah, I don't
we
listen
have
to
like
the radio
numbers and
either.
stuff. Yeah,
Yes. WKRP in Cincinnati was a television show
was a show,
about
yeah.
a
It was a TV
radio
show.
station.
let's
And
sing
was a
it, Sue.
comedy. Do
Let's
you
sing it.
remember Lonnie Anderson?
Yeah, sing
just
it with
passed
me,
away.
Sue.
She just
Baby,
passed away.
have you ever wondered
Wondered
whatever
whatever
became
became
of
of
me?
me.
I'm living
Living
on the air
in
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati,
WKRP.
Everybody has dropped off YouTube now. They're like,
Are you guys all gone now? Do we get you gone?
was
Here, you gotta move
amazing.
closer if you want to be in the shot.
That is it.
Hi,
is
Stephanie.
All right,
Stephanie, how's it going,
fine.
lass?
Stephanie.
Stephanie, okay, then you got to get closer. Okay.
You gotta act
Steph,
like
you're
you
right
like
at the
each
tail
other.
end. You're actually for the perfect portion of the show.
Yes.
Yeah,
talking about-
because I asked everyone before we went live. So what would be on Megsy's playlist, radio playlist? So I asked everyone to like think of a track that she would want to play. For me, I think Carly Simon, You're So Vain, would be absolutely perfect for her, because what springs to mind is the first line of the song. You walked into the party like you were walking onto a yacht. I'm not saying anything. I'm not accusing anything. I'm just leaving it out there in the ether for you guys to decipher that. But yeah, what would you think that Megsy would add to her playlist track-wise?
I feel like my song, End of the Road.
End of the road.
She would put, it would, I know you, I see, she didn't understand the assignment. She thought she had to write a song. No, it's not End of the Road. Okay, can I give you?
You guys can sing it Into the Road.
Yeah, no, well, no,
girl,
no, it's on our
road.
Yes,
and you know that I'm right. Why did you play with my queen? Why did you play with Harry's line?
I don't know the rest. You can find it on our Clips channel, but I'm thinking like in my head, like she would play that. I know, I don't know if anyone's gonna get this. I know, Steph, you are way too young to know who Peggy Lee is, but do you guys know that song? Is that all there is? Is that all there is, my friend?
Yes.
So let's keep dancing. And it starts off with her going, she talks it the whole song, but she goes, one time I was with my dad and we were dancing, or da da da, and then she goes, and then I turned to my dad and I went, is that all there is? I mean, it just kind of like goes through this life. People, viewers out there, I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, but just picture Meghan playing that song. That just came to mind. And Hey Big Spender from Sweet Charity. The minute you walk in the joint, I could see you were a man of distinction, a real big spender.
Good looking, so refined.
Wouldn't you like to know you're driving me
on in my mind?
So let me get right
to the point.
I don't pop my horse.
That's our thing. That's our.
All right. That's it. From now on, you guys go last. That's not fair. Y'all are too good at this.
Okay, let me give you mine. Let me give you mine. You ready?
Go on.
Yes.
Royals by Lord. We're bigger than we ever dreamed. I'm in love with being the queen.
Yeah.
That's her.
Yes.
That's her song.
It's true.
But we're gonna be royal.
But wait, Andy plays that, right?
Andy doesn't.
Andy plays that before the show.
It's like a version of that.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's it's a parody version from Parody Whitney's channel. Yeah,
Andy's so funny.
He's
I thought
awesome. I
that
love
was
him.
so her. That was so her.
That's good, Sue.
That's a good one.
You like that one?
I do like that one. Michelle, Roll Daily Tea, did you choose one?
Yeah, I got two. I got I Want to Be a Millionaire by Bruno Mars.
Oh,
how does that one go?
Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? That she would sing to Jeff Bezos and all the billionaires out there from the Pussycat Dolls. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah. How does that millionaire one go?
I'm not gonna sing it. I want to be a millionaire. So freaking bad. Something.
Yeah.
I don't know that song.
The twins know it. They can
I
sing it.
know the.
I want to be a millionaire. So freaking bad. Again, people are like dropping off now.
No, they're not.
They're
I
like,
think
they're
you know
so
what? I think
singing.
everyone's singing along with us right now.
Yeah, it's the Bruno Mars song. I want to be a millionaire.
Millionaire. I'm looking it up right now.
Or like
so I can,
billionaire. I want to be a billionaire.
I was just going to say, change the M to the B. That's what she wants now.
There you go.
Okay,
That's what she wants now.
Nancy has it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to play it that loud because of copyright.
Money, always funny in a rich man's world.
Oh, ABBA. Money.
ABBA.
That's a good one.
Yes.
ABBA.
I love a bit of ABBA.
I love ABBA.
You know, we should start our own playlist for Meghan Markle. There we go. We'll start our own playlist.
Do you know what? Perfect.
I want to be a billionaire so fucking bad. Buy all the things I never had.
Linger.
be a cover of a Forbes magazine. Yes. Smiling to
Oh, I think I have heard this.
Smiling next to Oprah and the Queen.
Wow.
Those are the lyrics.
Oh my
Oh.
God. Perfect.
That's a
Oh.
good one.
Perfect.
I want to be a millionaire so freaking bad. Be on the cover of Forbes magazine, smiling next to Oprah and the Queen.
That's
Boom.
crazy.
No,
Perfect.
that's
You wanna hear something
insane.
Broke that.
That was Bruno Mars.
You guys want to hear something funny? In grad school, my friends and I, we made a version of that song,
Yeah.
but we called it I Want to Be a PhD So Freaking Bad. And instead of Oprah, my friends were chemists. So it was, can you sing it really quick again, the Oprah part?
Yeah, Nancy.
I'm actually putting the link to
No,
the
do-
YouTube.
do- do-
I am.
do
I'm
it
doing
one
it
more
right now. I
time.
just wanted to put the link in the
Yeah,
chat so
do-
people can look it
wanna
up
be a
too.
I think it was something like, but we were standing
go.
next to a molecule of
wanna
methylene
be
or
a-
something
Okay, it goes,
like
I
that.
want to be a billionaire so freaking bad by all the things I never had. I want to be on the cover of Forbes magazine, smiling next to Oprah and the Queen.
That's crazy.
Smiling next to a molecule of methylene, I think we said. Something like that.
Go down a
And it
little
was
bit.
Science Magazine. I want to be on the
Oh,
cover
Science
of Science
Magazine.
Magazine.
I love the nerd
Scientists, yeah.
talk. I love the nerd talk. The
Go down
science.
a little bit.
Good one.
We
I'd
can't
like
all
to-
be big brains like you. So, good job.
Guys,
Yeah,
I'm
but
putting
like
all the
happens-
songs we're mentioning in the chat in case anybody wants to then listen to them on their own.
If someone has Spotify,
Sweet.
we should create the Megan
We
playlist
should.
where people can
We
go.
should.
and
Oh, this
Yeah.
is a
right?
good
The
idea.
Megan
Yeah.
playlist.
Who has
It's Megsy's
Spotify?
playlist.
Who has
Yeah,
Spotify?
we'll have.
And-
I think I might have a free version. We'll look into it.
Okay.
And let's share it on
we'll get
Instagram
we'll get it
stories, too.
sorted. Resting Dollface, what was your pick for Megsy's playlist?
Okay, so in her little whatever cookery adjacent show, she's been playing a whole bunch of old songs, right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking, I always remember, I thought it was Ray Charles who sang it, but the one that Money, that's what I want, dun 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 dun, hey, hey.
Wait, I
And
know
then
that
there's
song.
that one from the OJs, which had some funk in it, where it's like money, 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 money.
Money, money, money.
Money, money, money. So that came to mind. And then, come on, Irene Carter's fame song. I want to live forever.
I want to learn how to fly.
Remember my name, fame.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Wow. Yes. Who's left to add to Megsy's playlist here?
I'm left.
Yes.
Revealing.
Revealing.
So,
Revealing. Go
I'm
on, lass.
okay, so I'm going to say Sorry Not Sorry by Demi Lovato.
Yes.
And
Ah,
And I'm going to say Toxic by Britney Spears, but
Yeah.
she thinks everyone else is toxic, but the joke's on her because she's the actual toxic one.
Okay, so I am aware of Demi Lovato and that she exists. What does that song sound like? Because I've not actually heard any of her songs.
what's the name
No,
of the song
toxic.
again?
No, no,
Sorry,
she-
not
no, she
sorry.
did.
I
Demi.
can't sing it, guys. When I sing, the crows come. So it's better that I step away from that. But if one of you can play it.
I'm
Yeah.
pulling it up.
I'm looking it up right now. What is
Toxic Britney Spears?
No. She's asking the Demi Lovato song.
Yeah,
Demi
Brittany, I
Lovato's
know.
song.
And please, everybody in the chat, that's not me yelling at Stephanie. That's not me being cruel in any way. It's because I had to mute the mic because she kept telling me, no, look up Toxic. And I said, no, it's Demi Lovato.
You're toxic.
Yeah, we all know that.
Toxic.
I know, but this isn't.
I'm
me
getting
being
you
mean to
two a
her in
T-shirt that you guys have to
anywhere-
wear
any
together.
way, shape, or form.
I'm getting one of those T-shirts,
Hey,
and I'm gonna
what's-
make the twins wear it when they do lives.
What's the name of this? What's the name of the?
We got a bunch of lives.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry,
by
got it. Okay,
Demi
let me
Sorry,
write
not
Lovato.
sorry.
Baby, I'm sorry. I can't sing. There you go. That's
She's
it.
pulling up
Oh,
in a
that's cool.
Jaguar.
Well, that
during
wasn't
the-
like
bad
the-
revealing, to be fair, lass.
I want to hear it like this. Baby, I'm sad. I want to see the lyrics. I always I'm so old. I have to like put the lyrics on these kids songs because I don't.
That's
I don't know it. Okay,
About
here.
not being sorry for one's success or for feeling good, even if it causes others regret or burns them to see the speaker thriving.
Oh, yeah, that is totally a Megsy song. Shiz the freaking bed. Wow.
Payback is a bad bitch, and baby, I'm the baddest. You effing with a savage.
She said that she sang the song directly to a notorious bully, demonstrating the song's intent to confront those who have wronged her. Did Meghan Markle go to one of her concerts?
Not that I know of.
Showing up like I knew that I would. Baby, I'm sorry. Not
You know what?
sorry,
I think I've
baby,
heard
I'm
this
sorry.
one. Maybe in passing, but that kind of tune definitely rings a bell, guys.
It
Well,
does. That's why once I see the lyrics, I know.
Meghan is insane.
Yeah. Yeah, Megan, if you need our help, though, I'm sure.
You're completely nuts.
Could you imagine, though, if Megan did have us on her radio show, she would get the ratings she has dreamt about.
Oh God.
She would get
Totally.
the
If
ratings.
she had all us on her show,
Yeah, she should have us.
I
Because
mean, that's
seriously,
insane.
she would finally get the ratings.
She would definitely get ratings.
Yeah, she would get her dream ratings.
Yeah.
You know, that's not going to happen. But
Well, guys,
That's 'cause she's
a
nuts.
few thank yous before we wrap up the stream. Carol, thank you so much for gifting a leadership to a lucky alter nerd out there. Flapper27, thank you so much for that very, very generous $50 sugar bucks. My goodness, that's very kind of you. Hearts in the chat for Flapper27 there, saying, Steph, keep on keeping on. What we're doing here. Carol, also, thank you so much for that very generous $9.99 sugar book. Same for future equipment. Thanks for keeping it real. Thank you very much. A lot of you guys know I've finally been able to invest in the Elgato webcam for the studio. So, yeah, the investment continues. So thank you so much for that. Deborah Hughes, thank you so much for the sugar books of $4.99 with the critical hit. Dude, I love it. General Scott, thank you so much for my favourite super chat sticker, the Ginger Doggy Fighting Arts moment. I love it, love it, love it. Also, MP, NG Creed Menace and Jessie581, thank you so much for my favourite super chat sticker. Lizzie B, thank you for gifting one leadership to one of you lucky lots out there. Mike Drop Lisa, appreciate you. You didn't have to send me a super chat for this, love, but thank you anyway. She sent me the Oprah interview in full. So I'll send that link over to you guys. It's in a Google Drive that Mike Drop Lisa has got. So, Mike Drop Lisa, appreciate you, lass. Thank you so much. Jessie581, thank you for gifting a leadership to a lucky alter nerd out there. The big SM himself, Stephen Magnus, thank you so much for the £2 sugar bucks, saying the whole show would be so overproduced. With Megsy's radio show. Oh, yeah, like everything else. And Chris Mills, thank you so much for the £5 sugar bucks, saying her first song would be Meredith Burgess. I'm a bitch, I'm a liar.
oh, I
think
know
we
that
should add
one.
that to the Megsy
I'm a
playlist.
bitch, I'm a liar, I'm a liar, I'm a mother, I'm a sinner, I'm a saint. I do not feel ashamed. I'm your hell, I'm your queen. I'm nothing in between. You see, you wouldn't love me the other way. You don't
Yeah.
remember this in
I'm
high
a
school?
bitch.
We just aged ourselves, but this was high school for us.
That's definitely getting
because I know
added to
that
the
song.
Megsy playlist.
See,
Totally.
don't ever invite Stephanie and I again if it's going to have to do with music, because we're just going to sit here and do karaoke all night with you guys.
No, we need to, because we could relaunch a YouTube series like Glee, though, where we talk about gossipy things
We
and we
do
explain
that.
it to everybody with pop songs. So yeah.
Well, if you
We need to have a
love that.
karaoke night.
We never
Karaoke
do.
Megan playlist night.
Yes,
Yes.
Karaoke
Dude,
fun
yes.
live. A fun live.
Karaoke night, dude.
I'm up for that. Like, it was what? Like, about 3-4 years ago, one of the times I was in Vegas, I was with Andy and the crew there, and we went to one of the karaoke places, and I actually live streamed the full lot. And there's me on
Dude.
karaoke, there's Andy on
When
karaoke.
you come to our Vegas house, there's a karaoke bar
Yeah, right down the street,
Down
there's
the
a karaoke
street.
bar.
down
and
the street.
it is
It's
so much
fun.
It's so much fun.
It's called Ireland's. It's
Yeah,
so
it's
fun.
so much
Okay.
fun. It's so much fun.
Cool.
It's so much
Yeah,
fun.
Yeah.
I'm already there, ladies. But
yeah,
yeah,
I know.
it's still up. It's still live. It hasn't been copyrighted because
Good.
we sound
Yeah.
probably atrocious. But whatever. It's there for you guys watching. If you ever want to go back into the history and play that, it was so much fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for that. That'll
But
be fun.
yeah, the karaoke streams are so much fun. We definitely have to do that at
Yeah,
some
that's
point.
awesome.
But guys, I want to thank absolutely all the ladies that have joined today. Make sure you're following them if you haven't done so already. If you haven't, you're living under a rock. So let me oblige in getting you out from that rock. Subscribe to the Sidley Twins, Sue Smith, Michelle from Royal Daily Tea, Resting Dollface, and Revealing the Narc. I'll make sure that the links to all these lovely ladies are in the description bar below. But guys, I'll let you have the final last word. What do you want to say about Megzy as or anything in the world? Go nuts.
She sucks. You suck.
She did more when she was a working actress with that
Yeah.
blog she never wrote on.
We just want to say for us to sign out today. If anybody wants to know, we have a special guest on our show today. Would you like to say hi and tell them you're going to be on our show today?
Oh, hey, oh.
Hey.
Hey.
Come on in. Why don't you say goodbye to everyone? This is
Goodbye, everybody.
Stef The Alter
Hey.
Nerd. Yeah.
Hey up, Mr. Sidley.
Hi,
Lovely to meet you,
Dad.
sir.
Hey, how are
Yeah.
you? Enjoyed your show today, ladies.
This man had to take my mom on a plane with a broken arm after playing pickleball with her and get her back to Portland safe and sound. So what did I do? I dragged him over here and said, "Let's do a show."
We'll do a show.
Yeah.
And then I want to thank Stephanie for taking care of Mom today. She
Yeah.
really did a great job. She's better and
She's
And-
better.
I try.
I try.
yeah,
Steph, if you guys
she's a
need
good daughter
medical
and a good
help-
nurse. So
Yeah.
anyway, we really appreciate it. So,
So that's
I'll say
our thing.
later.
Bye,
Yeah.
guys.
Anyone else want to say any final words before we go?
I just agree with Steph. I think she sucks.
Is that pretty much the main consensus? She sucks. Balls,
sucks.
big time. Just not has his balls because he doesn't have any now, according to Charlie Kirk.
Well, I think she's just a great case study on what not to do in business and on narcissism. I mean, she's just an educational entertainment, the gift that keeps on giving. And I think we have lots more to learn as we have more and more stuff coming from her. So that's all I got to say. Yeah.
Anyone else? Yeah, on that bombshell then, guys.
We love
Oh,
you, Steph.
We love you.
We love you.
Yes,
We
thank you for having us.
Thank you for having
Love
us.
you, ladies.
I
Love you
wasn't
guys.
actually fishing for that, but I love you guys too. So thank you so
Love
much for
y'all.
coming on. It has been so much fun, a blast. We're definitely going to do it again. Of course, we're going to do it again.
Karaoke,
Stay tuned. It's
karaoke.
going to be on someone else's channel, guys, the next one. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much to everyone that's tuned into today's live impromptu stream. Appreciate all your faces. Enjoy the rest of your days wherever you are in the world. And until the next time, you guys, laters. Bye.